Hey there, 40K fanatics. Welcome back to the channel where we discuss all the grim darkness that is 40K. Before we start, make sure to check out the podcast of our same name, 40K Fanatics, on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon as well. So, let's begin. Tyranids, the Great Devourer, the monsters in the void, also known as the space bugs of death. Today we're talking about what is, in my opinion, the greatest threat to the Imperium so far. Tyranids, named so for the first planet they devoured called Tyran. The species known as the Tyranids are a super adaptable, insect like, parasitic, and hyper lethal Xenos race. It's hunger knowing no ends. The Tyranids emerge from the dark space just to ruin your day, folks. That's right, these aren't local boys. Tyranids move in vast hive fleets of living bioships. Incapable of faster than light travel, these hive fleets use gravity wells from planets to slingshot their fleets across space. No two hive fleets have entered the galaxy from the same direction, which begs the question, are we surrounded? These hive fleets, under the control of a vast hyper-intelligent hive mind, seek to strip biomass from every planet they come in contact with, only seeking to further the evolution of the Tyranid race and the hive mind that commands it. Each member of its species is controlled through a synapse creature directly connecting it to the hive mind. Like countless links in a chain, these creatures interpret and enact the will of the hive mind itself, any way they can to nom that sweet biomass you got. Using the stolen biomass from a planet and its resources, the hive mind evolves and creates new bioforms to suit the needs of the hive fleet. Once stripped of all its resources, the Tyranids move on, leaving the once verdant world a dried husk of a rock. Tyranids are no joke. Each hive fleet is capable of adapting their bioforms in the middle of a battle, whether it's to fit the environmental needs to survive or changing its battle tactics to secure victory. The bioforms of the Tyranids are vast and innumerable, some ranging from the size of a warlord titan that's bigger than a skyscraper, folks, to being no bigger than a dog. It's like playing one fish, two fish, but with giant cockroaches that will eat your face. So far, there have been three major hive fleets: Behemoth, Kraken, and Leviathan. Each hive fleet responsible for large scale devastation, not only to the Imperium, but to other races as well. Examples like the destruction of a space marine homeworld, extinction of countless minor species, destruction of Imperial fleets, and even the death of an Eldar craft world. Man, these bugs can get it. Just about any win against the Tyranids have been a Pyrrhic victory, which is a success that basically you might as well have lost. Each fleet has adapted from the battles with the denizens of the Milky Way galaxy, one major adaptation being each fleet breaking up into smaller, splinter fleets to grow and move more independently. Good way to sell models. Sorry about that. Fleets such as Kronos, which have evolved to fight the forces of chaos in the warp, or fleets such as Gorgon, which have adapted immunity to Tau pulse rifles, while Inquisitors of the Ordo Xenos and Magoses of the Adeptus Biologus in the Adeptus Mechanicus attempt to unlock the secrets of the Tyranid DNA to unlock its secrets. Some think there's no way of knowing how many hive fleets are out there, and it's impossible to make up a defense against them. If that isn't grimdark enough for you, it gets even worse. Tyranids send out bioforms known as genestealers. These nefarious creatures infiltrate the inner workings of the other species. A genestealer then shanghais a couple of individuals and gives them what's called a genestealer's kiss. This will then override the genetic code of the individual, and then later, when these individuals reproduce, it'll make a monstrous hybrid of the two. The first generation carrying many characteristics similar to the genestealer. Following that, the genestealer will grow in size and undergo a form of hibernation while it becomes the new patriarch and broodlord of this, what is now a genestealer cult, due to the psychic presence of the genestealer over the ones he's infected. The second generation will carry more human characteristics, barring a third limb, or maybe a hunchback here or there, maybe some fangs. The third generation will then pass much more for human or mutant or maybe even abhuman, taking up positions in places like mining operations, factory jobs, things that people won't raise an eyebrow to. And the generation after will be the fourth generation and basically pass for full-blooded human, maybe some purplish skin here or there, but they will then infiltrate the human political or military or social groups that have influence within their society and then take place there while the cult eventually grows and grows. This is taking place over hundreds of years, probably. The offspring of the fourth generation, though, will be pretty much identical to the genestealers, being basically a monster to us, normal people, but the cult will then see them as the chosen ones or the angels born from them. All while this is going on, there's a psychic connection from their patriarch being sent out into space as the cult grows, and the Hive Fleet will connect to this psychic beacon sent out by the patriarch, and the psychic presence of the patriarch will draw it in. The Hive Fleet then will signal to the cult and the patriarch to fight back, taking down through sabotage, subversion, or maybe just attacking the populace randomly. The cult will then use their political, military, and social influence to hinder the defenses against the invasion of the Hive Fleet. Once the Hive Fleet arrives, the cult rejoices that their star gods have arrived. It is finally here. Everyone will rejoice. Then, taking advantage of their weakened prey, the Tyranids begin their invasion. The fleet will then strip the planet of all its biomass, starting off with the cult itself. Talk about grimdark, folks. We're going to wrap up the video there, and the Tyranids. I'm just going to ask you right now, do you think the Tyranids are the greatest threat to the galaxy, like I once said? You tell me in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to 40K Fanatics, whether it's the podcast or the YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. I really love to hear your comments. See you out there in the grim darkness of the far future.